definitely.
All right. Thank you, everybody. So as a service manager, I run daily operations at Adobe, and one of the key things that I think that nobody really does is really look at their operations on a daily basis. How are you doing the previous day, and what'd you do? So one of the key things, reports that I run that I get via email and it's scheduled is I run a daily report to see how operations went yesterday. So this is in my inbox as soon as I wake up. I take a look at it. Like this morning, I looked at it on my PDA. And I look at my success rate, kind of the meetings we did, how many meetings we did. I look at service quality. It just gives me a really good brief overview on a daily basis as a service manager how we did operations yesterday. On a monthly basis, I also run reports for my executive management. We have a service level agreement to the business, and then I roll that up to executive management and report how we're doing on a monthly basis. So every month at the beginning of the month, I get a report, it's automated, that shows me what we did the previous month. It shows me my success rate, shows me trend rates, which is really good to see how I'm doing trending-wise. And then it shows me my meeting count and any service quality issues that I have. And then it also shows me kind of some good data, like what were my top meeting rooms for the year. And also, I look at where I am year to date. So this is kind of important. I schedule this, I set this up for upper management, write a quick executive summary, and then go ahead and send it off. Network planning. So yesterday I heard a lot about network. So that was one of the key things. One of the key things, though, is I believe I need to plan too. So I don't believe the network team should be responsible for my planning. So what I do is I look at bandwidth utilization and where we are within. So here, this is a 2-week report here. And within, I can see what my maximum capacity is at any given hour for the last 2 weeks and what my averages are. So I'm able to look at capacity-wise whether I need to go and have words with the network team saying, hey, we're having a lot of issues, but my network, if I look at it, I'm not using all your network, so we need to figure out what's going on. This is a real powerful report to be able to go to the network team and understand what's going on. Endpoint availability. This is another key one. As everybody knows, you get a lot of phone calls from facilities, from different sites, engineers saying, we need more video, we need more video, we need more video. And you really don't have an understanding of, is your video conferencing being used? Are you really utilizing the current equipment that you have, or are people just using the rooms? So what I run is here's a site for San Francisco, and I start running some reports, and I start looking at how often we're using video. How many minutes is the video conferencing rooms actually being used on a monthly basis? But there's some keys to that. We also run room utilization. I base mine off an 8-hour working business day. And then this is showing me what rooms are used. Some are overutilized, and what I can see are some are underutilized. That's another key factor I look at. But you really can't just go on that because we're a global company, right? So, example, I may be talking to somebody in Asia Pac that I only have 2 hours to talk to. So if I only have 3 endpoints and it's only being used for those 2 hours, but you look at, oh, for the month it only had 5 calls or 20 calls, well, it's still being utilized. So you really got to look at all these reports and understand how your business is working to make decisions on whether you need to add more units. Proactive troubleshooting. So I'm sure most service providers love getting the emails from their VP saying, hey, I was in a meeting with another VP and he said he had a terrible experience in the meeting. So what I do is on a daily basis, I get another email, I got a scheduled email that shows me all my units that had issues, service quality issues. So we start doing some analyzing so we can get prepared and start looking at the units so we make sure that these issues don't continue going on and on and on. So that's another key big factor is this will show me every unit that had some type of service quality issue. I think it's really important. Performance issues. So that leads us to, okay, start looking, are we starting to see trends, right? So we see a unit every day, so do I start seeing trends and I start looking at sites? Do I have issues within performance in sites? This allows me to start looking at my top units that are having issues. Are the performance issue via packet loss or information? Then I start analyzing and I start looking at more units, and then I work with the network team. So this is a powerful one that I took to the network team. Network team, we were having a lot of issues, and the network team would say, well, QoS is working. Well, not necessarily. So what I was able to do is I was able to look at the units, I sat down with the network team and looked at the units, the time, where they called, and we sat down and we looked at all the packet loss information, and then they were able to take that back and say, oh yeah, there was something in the MPLS, that what POS wasn't working right. So this information is able to help me as a service provider really work with other organizations and me have the hard fact data to make smart decisions. So in summary, for us is, so we deploy video conferencing units. I think everybody here deploys them. But do we actually use the data to make smart decisions? Adobe really depends on analytical reporting for a lot of information. How am my service doing? Is it working? Am I meeting my SLAs? And do I need to upgrade? And is it cost effective? We're able to do this on the fly now. So this is a key thing. I don't have to wait for reports. I'm able to, any VP that comes to me and says, hey, I want to know what's going on here, I'm able to give them the information they need. And we do a lot of business decisions when we do new sites based on capacity and information that we get from these reports. We're able to look at what we need to do moving forward. And the current technology really makes this possible for us. It's a key factor of our success. And any questions?
Can you assure the audience that all those graphs and charts weren't just created in
Photoshop?
Photoshop?
I am sure they were not.